want to make sure. Back a little bit. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Just all this stuff. Okay. All right, for this practice, you will need a block, either a thick book or a block, something that you can have that's elevated. And we're going to start off today by placing the block underneath of your hips, underneath your pelvis, underneath your sacrum. And so you can choose either the first level or the second level. And it's the left leg that's going to go straight and the right knee that's going to bend. And so you're going to feel that out. Is the second level appropriate? You can start to lift and pull your right knee towards your shoulder. Your fingers can interlock on the top of the right knee and just guide the knee in. And at the same time that you pull your knee towards your shoulder, think of the back of your left leg dropping down to the floor. Shift your gaze internally. You can even close down your eyes and start to draw your right knee in. Also start to pay attention, noticing your belly and how upon every exhalation, you're guiding your navel towards your spine. And almost like you're starting to give yourself a little internal massage in your belly. Maybe you have a little bit longer breaths here. And upon your inhalation, you can think about creating space in your body. So maybe focusing on your spine, creating some actual length here. And then dropping into the deepening of it all by exhaling. Using your strength to kind of pull your knee in a little further, a little closer. All right, and then take your right foot to the floor. Keep your right knee bent. And just making sure that that right foot is solid. Now, okay, a couple of things. You're going to feel out. I am working with a little bit of an injury on my knee, my right knee. So I'm going to do this really, really slow, really, really consciously, staying with the action. But you can bend your elbows so your fingers are lifted up. And you're going to use the strength of your arms a little bit to lift your left leg and eventually your left hip off your block. Now you can see how high you can go with the left leg. So left leg up towards the sky. See how high, and it might just come a little bit off the ground. And again, for me, I can really feel that my right knee and my quad, I might have torn a tendon. So I'm just going really slow, feeling that out. And then bend your left knee and put your left foot on the ground, hip distance apart from your right leg. And now lift your hips right off your block. Lift your hips up into a bridge pose. Walk your shoulder blades together as you bring your hands closer, closer, closer. Lifting your hips up. And then just imagine like the top of your thighs want to extend away from your face. Toes are pointing straight away from your pelvis too. As you lift your hips. As you engage your back body, you're feeling from your heels up to your calves. your hamstrings working, engaging, glutes, the lower part of your back, those muscles, the erectors on either side of your spine, waking up to the rhomboids between your shoulder blades, engaged. To the triceps as you press the back of your arms down to the floor, lifting up. And then as you exhale, place your hips back on your block. Okay, the right leg is now going to go straight and taking it nice and slow as you bend your left knee, lifting your foot off the ground. One step at a time, and just be mindful that your right foot is also keeping very neutral. So you don't want to have your foot like twisted off to the side or turned off to the side. And then your hands can interlock on the top of your left knee. Now, you're guiding your left knee towards your shoulder. And at the same time, your back of your right leg lowering down to the ground. Your toes are alive. And just smoothing out the edges of your breath. Internal focus here. Observing the functionality here, mostly of the joints in the lower part of your body, from your hips to your knees to your ankles, and even to your toes. Every time you inhale, you can even imagine that your breath is moving down to your belly. So you expand your rib cage so that your lungs can really take in the most breath, and then pushing it out. So guiding your navel in towards your spine. Nice and long breaths here. Two more breaths. And then place your left foot on the ground. Bending your arms, back of your upper arms down to the floor. Lift your right leg up towards the sky. And then lifting your hips off the ground as you push your foot up towards the sky. See how this goes on this side. Yeah. Is it easier? Is it harder? Wow, it's night and day for me. So lifting your foot up, up, up. And also keeping your left leg really stable on this side. And then slowly let your hips come down on your block so that you can bend your right knee and put your right foot on the floor. Your feet are hip distance or even a little bit wider if you want to now. Lift your hips off your block, move your block off to the side. Lift your hips up and off the ground. All right. Okay, let your arms, so it's like you're going to do like a snow angel. Your arms are going to go wide on the ground, up and over your head. And then press down on your arms as you bend your elbows. And now your arms are sort of like this cactus arm shape. Push on the backs of your arms. And as you do that, see if you can press on the back of your hands, the back of your wrists. All 5 fingers pressing down to the floor at the same time as you lift your hips up, up, up. See if you can press your elbows onto the floor. Elbows to shoulders, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and all your fingers. Lifting your hips up, up, up. Let your exhalation happen, and then on your inhale, let your hands reach straight up overhead. And then arms are going to go wide and underneath of you. Interlock your fingers under your back. Continue lifting your hips away from the floor. Bring your chest closer to your chin and hold here. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Let your hips come down to the floor. All right, bring your knees to your chest. Arms can wrap around your legs. Give yourself a little hug. Squeezing in. All right, so we're going to do some rocking and rolling for the spine, for massaging your spine. So coming back and all the way up. So your hands can stay on the front of your knees or your shins. Rolling back and forth. And you can sort of like tap your toes when you come forward, then tap your toes when you go back. We'll do this maybe like 3 or 4 more times. Think about massaging the muscles along your spine. So keep your chin tucked in. We'll go one more time. And then come up, cross your legs, and just go right back into a downward dog. So just lift your hips right up. Downward dog. In your downward dog, pedal your heels up and down. Knees back and forth. Your breath is steady. And let your head dangle also at the top of your spine. Now as you inhale, lift up your right leg. Bend your right knee and open up your hip. Look under your left armpit for the right heel. Keep weight on your right hand. Also, just roll the right hip down ever so slightly, right shoulder down. Ever so slightly, lift up, lift high. And then on your exhale, bring your knee forward for a step into a low runner's lunge. Drop your back knee. Right hand to your knee. Lift your left arm up towards the sky. Stretch up tall and reach up and over to the right. Stretch up and over. And then on your exhalation, left hand down, right foot back. Side plank variation, lift up your right hand. Bend your right knee and hold the inside of your foot. Kick up and back behind you. And now on your exhalation, step your right foot forward. Bring that back foot to the other edge of your mat, to the right side. And bring your hands off to the left. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale to lean in, deepen the stretch. Take another inhale. Exhale to deepen. One more to find length. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Left handle plant, straighten your right leg. Nice long arch for the whole right side. And then arriving back into the low lunge, coming forward with your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Inhale, your arms reach up towards the sky. And exhale, you're coming around to face the front. Yeah. And then we just come into mountain's pose as you exhale, step forward. Palms forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, step your left foot back into a high runner's lunge. Your arms reach up. Exhale, left hand plants and your right hand sweeps back and up towards the sky. Look up. Exhale, a downward facing dog. Come forward to high plank. And as you exhale, come down right to your belly. A little cobra, peel your shoulders back, lift your heart. And go down. Second one, maybe pressing on your hands a little more to lift. Go down. Third, final one, to lift your chest, peel your shoulders back. And back into a downward facing dog, tucking your toes under. Hips lift up. Left leg lifts, bend your knee, and open your hip. Look under your right armpit, looking for your foot. Lifting your knee. Lifting, lifting. As you keep your left hand planted, keep your left shoulder rolling down. Take a full breath in. And exhale to step your left foot forward. Drop your knee, left hand on knee, right arm is going to reach up and over. Stretch long. Reach, extend. And then exhale, right hand plants as your left foot goes back. Lift your left arm. Bend your top knee, reach for your foot from the inside, and start to kick up and back. Kick up, kick back. Maybe lift your gaze. Keep breathing. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, a gentle step forward, taking your back foot to the other side of your mat, to the left. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, extend your fingers out. So it's your left thigh that remains parallel to the long edge of your mat, and your back foot, bring it to the left side of your mat. Good, lengthen and lean in. Create space. Deep in the stretch. Take just another inhalation. And as you exhale, right hand to the back of your mat, straighten your back left leg. Stretch up and over with your left arm. Stay for the inhale. As you exhale, travel back to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes under. High lunge, arms reach up. And mountain's pose, arms by your sides, feet planted. Inhale, your arms come up to the sky. Dive forward and fold. Exhaling, halfway lift, create space. And step your right foot back into a high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Right hand plants, left hand sweeps back and up. An easy twist, look up. Exhale into a downward facing dog. Inhale forward to high plank. And as you exhale to the belly or halfway for chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. Breathe in and find a downward facing dog. All right, adding on. Inhale, right leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Start to roll to the outer edge of the left foot. See if this is possible just yet. So lifting your right hand if possible. Otherwise, keep your right hand on the floor. As you exhale, right hand down, look forward, step. Low lunge. Right hand beside you. Okay, this is where your block might be handy again. Keep your back knee off the ground. Put your block to the right side of your body, highest or second level. And then with your hand on that block, your thumb pointing forward. Engage your back leg a lot. Left hand sweeps across in front of you, up and over. Stretch long through the whole left side. Take your left hip forward, your right hip back. Lift up and over, breathing. Breathe in. And exhale, left hand goes down. Keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, right arm comes up. And exhale, step your left foot forward and both feet touch, knees bend. Hands sweep forward and up. Lean back. Good. You can clasp your hands up overhead, your fingers together, interlocking your fingers, release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Stretch up and breathe. Reach. And as you exhale, tip forward halfway, arms still reaching forward, left heel lifts and extends back. Warrior 3, full extension, activate your back foot. Hold for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1, left foot connects. Heel to the ground. This is warrior 1 with the same arms. Reach up towards the sky. Lift up and back. And as you exhale, a downward facing dog. Come forward to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway. An upward dog to peel your shoulders back. And a downward facing dog. Left leg up. For the other side, bend your knee, open your hip. Stay like so, or start to find your right foot, your right hand still on the ground as your left arm lifts. A side plank variation here. And then on your exhale, it's a step forward into that lunge. Grab your block, place them in your left hand now. Highest or second level. Thumb pointing forward, engage your back leg. Reach forward, up and over. Extend through that side. Make your back leg really strong. Take your left hip back just a little bit. Lift your heart up more. Good. And breathe. As you exhale, hands in front, stepping forward, both feet touch. Bend your knees, sweep your arms forward and up. As you sit down into a chair. Hands come together, clasp your fingers, release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Stretch your arms up to the sky. Notice if you need to have your elbows bent, if your shoulders are really screaming. Otherwise, keeping your hands together the whole time, letting your shoulders soften. The right heel now lifts, and it's the right foot that extends back into warrior 3. You tip forward as you do this. Look on the floor in front of you and activate your right foot. Lift your heart a little bit, lift your hands and hold here. Breathe for 3. For 2. 1. Place your right heel to the ground. Warrior 1. Reach up. Take your right hip forward, left hip back ever so slightly and engage your back leg. Take a breath. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale, a downward facing dog. Come forward to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. An upward facing dog. And a downward facing dog. All right, so adding on. Lift your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip, and gently flipping all the way over into Wild Thing. So right foot behind you. As you lift your pelvis and possibly drop your head. Activate your right fingers. And then we're going to come back into a side plank on this left hand and left foot. Rest both feet, right foot on top of left. Lift your right arm up. Bend your right knee and reach for your right big toe as you look forward and step your right foot forward. High runner's lunge. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Clasp your fingers. Release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Hinge forward, fly, warrior three. Let your arms open, extend open your chest, and then start to lift your left hip, half moon. Arms are going to reach apart, half moon. Bending your right knee, stepping back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back, and exhale, side long angle. Elbow comes to knee, left arm forward. As you inhale, lift your left arm and straighten out the right leg. Triangle. Deepen this. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, look down, grab a hold of this block. You place the block just under your left shoulder, left hand, and take your back foot, wiggle your toes forward, and keeping your heel on the ground. So step your left foot more forward to do that. All right, so now from here, take your right arm to the right side of, actually put your block in your right hand, close to your foot. Yeah, we'll do it like this. And then your left hand, so right hand on your block, and your left hand dangles. Ask your left hip to come forward a little more. Keep your back leg straight. Heel is connected. Okay, so now we're going to think about drawing a bow, which would be that your elbow bends and pulls straight up towards the sky. As you do this, this left hip is going to try and pull back, bring it forward, and keep the straightness of your front leg. Now, if you get to this bending point and you're like, that's enough, you can place your left hand on your low back. Otherwise, you can lift it up to the sky. Point is, you want to feel the left hip forward and your right hip more back. Adjust the height of your block to do this. And you also want to feel that the left shoulder lifts, but your left hip doesn't. So it's a twist. And breathe wherever you are. 4, 3, 4, 2, and on 1. Bring your hands in front of your right toes, your block in front of you. You're going to take your block like width-wise, the width of your block, and both your hands are going to hold onto this block with your left leg lifted. So we're in an airplane variation. The left leg is really alive and strong. You're going to either start by lifting your block up towards your chest and then push your block away from your chest, away from your head with both hands extending forward. Hold for 3. Breathe for 2. And on 1, put that block back down onto the floor. Hands are going to come either side of your right foot as you tip forward, going a little deeper into standing split. Inhale, lift the leg. Set both of your feet side by side and your knees bend. Place your belly right on your thighs. Getting your hips down low, super low. And then sweep your arms up towards the sky. Gather your hands in front of your heart. Lean your hips back. So keep going back, back, back with your hips. Lift your chest. And drop your left elbow towards your right knee. Twist. Twist, twist, twist. Look to the side and breathe. Steady and strong. For 3. And 4, 2. And 1, hands to the ground. Lift your hips. Exhale, bend your knees, setting up for crow. So hands on the floor, lean forward, knees to your arms, and lift. Either hop or step back, high plank, chaturanga. An upward facing dog, peel your shoulders back. Downward dog. Left leg up now. Bend your knee and open your hip, staying here. Or gently turning over into Wild Thing. Left arm over. Breathing through your nose. Straighten your right leg and find side plank. Where your left leg is on top of your right. Left arm to the sky. Fitting between two panes of glass as you do this. And then pull your knee to your chest, fingers around your big toe. Step forward into a high runner's lunge. Inhale, your arms reach up towards the sky. Clasp your fingers up overhead. Release your index fingers, your thumbs cross. Hinge forward and fly. Lift your leg up and off the ground. Extend your arms out in front of you and breathe. Lift, take a breath in, and then allow your arms to go wide. Lift your right hip, find half moon. Lifting your right leg, lifting your right hip, finding steadiness. Stay here and breathe for 3, for 2, and 1, stepping back. So right foot to the ground, warrior 2, arms reaching apart. Left palm up, inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. And side long angle, elbow to your knee. Reach your right arm long, overhead, and press firmly into the outer edge of your right foot. And breathe. As you inhale, straighten out the front leg, lift your right arm, and as you exhale, deepen it, going into triangle with your straight front leg. Left hand either resting on top of your shin or inside the leg. Right shoulder, right hip back. And stay here and breathe for 3, for 2. Look down on 1. You grab your block, place it inside. Actually, use the block for your right hand first, below the shoulder, and then turn your back toes more forward. Getting it so that you can really feel that that left hip pulls back and your right hip forward. Now block in step of the foot and left hand on top of it. Highest level, second level, it's whatever feels right, that you can keep a straight spine. Dangle your right arm like you're drawing a bow. Bend your elbow, pull it straight up to the sky. Keep the right hip forward. And then see if your chest will open. And if it's easy, lift your right arm up towards the sky. A continual action here of lengthening your spine, directly affected by the length of the back of your left leg. So allowing your block to go higher if that mobility is limited. Right hip forward. And gaze either down or to the side. Right hip forward, left hip back. Stay for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring your block in front of you. All right, and both hands on that block. You're going to come forward, lifting the right leg into airplane. So in airplane, the right heel is high as your hip, preferably. Letting your left knee bend is needed, and both hands on this block. You're going to lift it off the ground and extend it away from your shoulders. The higher your chest lifts, the easier it becomes. Otherwise, keeping yourself parallel to the floor. Stay for 3. Lift here for 2. And then 1, your hands come down. Put your block off to the side, standing split. Deepening the stretch, looking back. Lifting your right leg up to the sky. Both your feet touch down at the top of your mat. Bend your knees. Inhale, your arms sweep up towards the sky. Sit down low into your hips. Keep going lower and lower and lower. Keep going until your hips are hovering off the ground, and then all the way down, all the way back. All right, take your hands to interlock the back of your head and lift both legs up towards the sky. Cross your right leg in front for your left leg. And then on your exhale, left elbow to right knee. And as you inhale, change your legs, laying your head back. Twist to the other side, other leg crosses. And exhale. Exhale to twist. Inhale to change. And we're just moving from side to side, adding in that extra thigh squeeze on the exhale. As you transition from side to side, keep your chest lifted so that you're not laying your head all the way back in between. So keeping your chest lifted. And if it's a bit much, especially for your hamstrings, bend your knees more. And if you want more, think about extending past your knee with your elbow. If you want more, you can actually take your hands to reach. Side to side. If your neck gets sore, let your hands actually hold your head. And we'll do 3 more on each side. Last one on each side. And then bend your knees, put your feet on the ground. Lift your hips off the floor into bridge. So this might be enough, staying here in bridge, where you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, put your hands in a backward somersault. And lift into wheel, full wheel. Straightening out your arms, possibly, and your legs. And then you can slowly lower your hips back to the floor. Just take a moment to neutralize. And lift your feet off the ground so your shins are parallel to the floor. All right, actually you can bring your legs up and you're gonna wrap your right leg around. So think about eagle legs with your right knee closest to your chest and your shins parallel to the floor. If you can hook your right leg around the leg, do that too. All right, and then take your right arm under, cross twist tie your arms together. And now we're gonna go into eagle extensions here. So it's the right leg over and it's the right arm under. So inhale, push your toes and your fingers away from your body. And then exhale, curl and crunch in, elbows and knees touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze in. Keep going. Three more. And change. Left leg over. Okay, so arranging your legs to do this. And the left arm is under. Inhale, reaching away from your body. And then exhale to crunch in. 3 more. And put your feet on the ground, bridge. Hips up. Interlock your fingers underneath your body as your hips lift. Otherwise, go into wheel. Hands in the backward somersault and pushing yourself away from the ground. Bridge or wheel. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And then 1. Neutral position first. All right, and then you're going to bring your feet together. Lift your hips up. Now your arms can be on the floor. You can bend your elbows. So just like we did at the beginning, the right leg knee to your chest, and you're going to lift your right toes up towards the sky. Lift, lift, lift. And then on your exhale, you're going to lower your hips, tap your hips to the ground, and then push up. Exhale, tap. Actually, inhale, tap. That's what feels more intuitive for me. And we'll just do 1 more of these. Lift. Keep your hips lifted and change. Go to the other side. Left leg up. And exhale to lower. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lower. Actually, I keep cueing the opposite of what actually feels right for me. So I like to exhale, push. Maybe 1 or 2 more, whatever feels even for you. And then put your feet, both feet on the ground, back into that bridge pose. Bridge, bridge, bridge. Lift your hips up. Taking your left foot, keep it on the ground, putting weight over to that side. Bend your elbows to help. Right ankle above the knee. Now you're coming into figure 4 legs. Your right knee open. And you can lower your hips down to the floor. Pull your knee in. And your hands now go to the back or the front of your left leg. Couple of breaths here. Maybe even rocking from side to side. And then put your feet, both feet on the ground. Same width as bridge. Lift your hips up to the sky. Arms can help a little bit here. Put weight over the right side and your left ankle above your knee. Left knee opens into that figure 4. Lift, lift, lift. And then lower your hips to the ground. As you pick your right foot off the floor, your hands can go to the front of the leg or the back of your thigh. And even rocking to the right, to the left. Pull the knee in. All right. And then release your legs up towards the sky. You can grab your block. Place your block underneath of your pelvis with your legs lifted up. So I'll take you through step by step. Step 1. Right like this. So you can even just allow your arms to rest by your sides. Always honor where you're at every day. Injuries that you're dealing with or emotions impact our physical too. So just listen to your body. Rest as you need. Push harder if that's also what you need. Okay, so you can stay here or go up into shoulder stand. So all the way up. From shoulder stand, you can go into plow. With your legs straight overhead, toes on the floor. You can also have your knees bend, touching your knees to your forehead. Slowly coming back till your hips are on your block. Lifting your hips or your feet up. If you strayed away from the beginning first step, we meet back at the first step. And then your knees bend, put your feet on the ground. Move your block off to the side and set your hips on the floor. Happy baby. Holding your big toes, bending your knees, and pulling your knees either side of your body. Keeping your feet wide, you're going to rock and roll coming up. Feet wide, open your legs even as you sit up into boat pose. And then back into happy baby. So we just sort of like rock and roll. Put your feet on the floor. So wide to the edges of your mat. Bring yourself forward so that you're in a yogi squat. Letting your hips lower down. Now as you exhale, dropping your head in your hands, lifting your hips, toes point in. Actually, bring your right foot so that it's pointing forward. Left leg extends back. Lift the leg. Open into half moon. Just for a moment. A nice little stretch here. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to come all the way up to stand into tree. So you're going to take your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Above or below the knee, of course. And then your hands meet in front of your heart. Drop your left hand down to the inside of your leg. And reach up and over with your right hand. Nice arch for this whole right side. And then come back to center and put your left foot on the ground. Figure four with this right ankle above your knee. Bend your left knee and just hinge forward as your hands can meet in front of your heart. You can also have your hands on your shins or the floor. Okay, so if this is in your practice, it's certainly not appropriate for me right now. You can go into like flying pigeon. So your hands can touch down on the floor and you can bring your right knee to the back of your right elbow. Hook your toes around your upper left arm and fly the left leg back if that feels appropriate. If it doesn't, no way. slowly let the right toes come to the floor as you step all the way back with your left foot. Now we're going to come into pigeon with the right foot forward, right knee forward. So if you were flying pigeon, you would go back to seated pigeon. Sit up tall. And then when you're ready, come down to your elbows, all the way down. Exhale longer than you inhale. And then as you inhale, sitting up, bring your feet forward. The right leg is going to go straight, and you're going to bend your left knee. Lift your foot up and over, going into a twist. Hug your knee in and turn, twist to the left. Look to the left. Okay, put your left foot on the ground. Your right foot also on the ground so that you hinge forward, lifting your hips and walking your left foot forward. Extend your right leg back, going into half moon on this side. Just for a moment, lifting up the leg. A very slow transition to come all the way to stand into tree with your right foot above or below your left knee. Hands to your heart. And then mudra fingers, index thumbs together. As the back of your right hand on the knee, arch up and over with your left arm. And then as you come back up to stand, gently place your right foot on the ground, and it's your left ankle above the knee, figure 4. Bend your standing leg, hinge forward, coming down with the elbows on your shin or your hands. Hands to your heart even. Hinging forward. And then moving into that flying pigeon. Yeah, moving into flying pigeon if that works for you. And so I'm not sure if online if it cut out, but basically we went into half moon to tree to balancing. So it's just the second side to balancing here in figure 4. I feel like it might have cut out that little section. Flying pigeon if that's in your practice and what you did on the other side. And then we are all going to drop down into actual pigeon so you can step your right foot back. Left knee is bent. And sitting up tall as you come down onto your elbows. Pigeon. And then coming up to sit, bringing both legs forward. Left leg stays straight. Righty bends, lift your foot up and over. Into a twist the other way. So sit up tall, twist. Sit up tall and twist. Lengthen, twist, twist, and twist. And then you can just come to sit. So sit on a block, sit on a bolster, just sit so that your spine is tall, upright. Let your hands rest on your legs, and we'll just take a little bit of time here. Time to just sift through your inner environment. Linger in the space. As you breathe here, we're going to breathe together a few cycles of this. So you're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big breath in. Side out. 2 more like that. Big breath in. Side out. 1 more. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big breath in. Side out. 2 more like that. Last one. Your cyclical breath going now. And hold. Let it out. Hold. Big breath in. Release it. 1 more breath in. And release it. Gather your hands in front of the heart. Last one to Om. So breathe in. Your thumbs can meet at your forehead as you close the practice here. Namaste, namaste, namaste. So you can go into Shavasana. Enjoy that for as long as you need. Thanks for practicing. See you next time.